100 years after he died, we remember the first Scot to be executed for desertion in World War I.
His family probably never talked about him. He'd met a shameful death. But times have changed.
He was recently pardoned, and there's a hope now his family might come forward. 100 years ago tomorrow, a young Scottish soldier was shot and killed on a battlefield in France. Unlike fallen comrades who were hailed as heroes, Private Joseph Byers of the Royal Scots Fusiliers died in disgrace, the first Scot to be court-martialled and executed for desertion. Willie Johnston has his story.
The war medals Private Joseph Byers would have earned, but forfeited along with his life. His crime? Going missing from the trenches after being sent for coal for the fires.
He was caught some time later by a French gendarme and handed over to the British forces as a deserter. He was tried, found guilty, sentenced to death, and that sentence was carried out fairly shortly afterwards.
Shot at dawn, blindfolded, tied to a post with a white target pinned to his chest for the 10-man firing squad to aim at. He left a will scribbled in his paybook.
In the event of my death, I give the whole of my stuff to my sister Nellie Murray, and this was signed on the 28th of December 1914. Little did he know that he'd be dead within 6 weeks.
Joseph Byers was one of 39 Scots executed for desertion during World War I. But apart from his name, we know nothing about him. We don't know who he was or where he was from. His family probably never talked about him. He'd met a shameful death. But times have changed.
In 1997, the deserters' names were added to the lists of fallen at the Scottish National War Memorial in Edinburgh Castle. 10 years later, they got a government pardon.
There'd always been a recognition that anyone who served his country and had died should be recognised. And it seemed wrong that they were missing from that list, irrespective of previous reasons why they may have been missed out.
What was condemned as cowardice 100 years ago would more likely be viewed now as a consequence of post-traumatic stress disorder. On the centenary of his death, historian Paul Goodwin hopes a family or community will emerge now to claim Joseph Byers as theirs and remember him with pride, not shame. Willie Johnston, reporting Scotland.